All right, let's move forward. I would like to welcome Mr. Satyam to present his talk on finding P1's vulnerability.
Thank you for being here. So, without wasting any time, let's move on with how to find P1s at will. Well, something about me, I am a full-time bug bounty hunter. I mostly hunt at Snack, and I also create content on YouTube, and I've written some blogs as well, and I also am a Null Ahmedabad volunteer. So that's basically it. So let's get started. And the lazy approach. So basically, I am one of the laziest guys you will ever come across, and I procrastinate a lot. Like I made this PPT 4 a.m. today in the morning, and if you still have any doubts, meet me after the session. I'll get you a chat with my parents, and they will confirm you that I am. So keeping that aside, the first thing is thinking inside the box. Like as you see, every one of the talks, the wonderful talks, each one of them were very technical. It was thinking something outside the box, like chaining the vulnerabilities or approaching SPF records. Everything was thinking outside the box. But let's get a little lazy, and we should not, ignore the basics, and thinking inside the box is what I'll explain later as well. And we need to process the info. We can get a lot of information, like everyone is talking about recon these days, right? There are a lot of ways, there are a lot of things you can find it with recon. You can go in depth, you can go vertical and horizontal as well. But the main thing is what you are actually doing with that information. Even if it's recon and even if you come across any endpoint or anything at all, you need to know how to utilize that information, how to utilize that particular endpoint, and what to do, what exactly to do with it. And yes, that's it. And bounty. So I'll explain a few bugs which I have just found using or manually exploring the JavaScript files and nothing else. And let's move ahead. So free food. So this was a multinational fast food company, and this was for Snack. So I just moved across. I just logged into the application. I guess I did not log in as well. I just went on to the homepage, and I saw some JavaScript files being passed in the background. So I just have an habit of looking at JavaScript files manually as well. So one interesting thing caught my eye was, as you can see, the order dev settings. So I just thought, let's see what it offers. Moving on to that, I found this sort of, panel, you can say, where we are, as you can see, there are a lot of features, different, for example, Canary, development, GMS dev, etc. And there's an option as well to show hidden products. So after I just selected development and ticked on show hidden products and moved back to the home page. So what it did was it just redirected me back to the home page itself. But now what happened is, whenever you are trying to place an order, there were a lot of deals, there were a lot of food items which you are able to order. But now after checking the development option and turning the feature on of showing the hidden products, there was some of some of the deals or some of the products which did not have a price, as you can see there. So I thought to myself, like, I tried adding that to the cart, and I was successfully able to add that to the cart as well. Moving on, I also found that there are a lot of free, these were like coupons, you can say. And these were not visible or available before turning on that dev settings thing, which I did earlier. So there are a lot of free things as well, as you can see, free cookie, free delivery, a lot of free stuff, which you can directly add and combine as well. So this was basically the bug, and of course I did not try to move on, exploit further, and I was successfully able to add everything to the cart and place an order as well. But I actually did not place the order for obvious reasons. And when I submitted the bug, this was the reply that I got back, and that wasn't quite sweet. But yes, so any guesses of for what I did next? Let me tell you. So I just tried placing the order, and I was successfully able to place the order. So basically, the only caveat here was that the minimum order amount should be 200 rupees for the Indian side. So I had to, if you order anything for 200 rupees, and you can add any number of, you can select this, the deal or whatever food item it was multiple times. You can even order 10 of those and your order cost won't increase. And for 200 rupees, you will be able to order anything itself. So that was a bug. It took almost around 30 minutes from finding it to reporting it, and it was very trivial. So that was just it. And so yeah, next I just ordered the food. I sent in the screenshot of the photo of the invoice, and a photo of the food as well to the VO. So to ensure them that we were actually able to order the food. And coming back to procrastination, I just left it there. I was, over the moon that I found something nice. But a few days later, I realized there are a lot of subdomains for this particular website or organization. And I found that each and every subdomain for that particular organization were vulnerable to the same thing. So you can basically order free food from any part of the world where the organization exists. But yeah, unfortunately, I was awarded around $700 or so for that because welcome to SINAC. So that was it. Now moving on. Next is RC. So this was also very trivial. I was manually going through the JavaScript files, and I found an endpoint named as imageuploader.aspx. Now moving on to now I just tried logging it, tried moving to the imageuploader.aspx, and I saw that there was basically nothing. It was some error that was showing. Unfortunately, I do not have the screenshot for that, but the page basically did not show anything. But the manual ID parameter, as you can see, we have. So that was also a part of the JavaScript as well. I found the same parameter in the same JavaScript file, and I was just trying different things. Only on adding just adding the parameter without any value gave out a different result. And I was just testing out different stuff like SQL injection, part traversal, and stuff like that on this. And entering the C directory gave the whole access of the server to me. Like I was very confused, and I mean, I was not sure if this is a bug or not. I talked to 2, 3 friends of mine, and I confirmed that this is not something which is trivial and which should not be existing in the first place. But again, welcome to SINAC. They did not accept the bug because for the RCE, the conditions on SINAC is that you need to execute code somehow. So my next step was to try and figure out how to execute code from remotely, right? And I figured that we were able to upload any folders on the server root, and we were able to upload any images or whatever it is. But we were not able to upload it on the location where the website was hosted, where the vhost actually existed. So for that, I had to go through the files and try to figure out where was the upload allowed. And for that, I tried uploading stuff on various different folders, but on some of them it just did not allow to upload. On some of them it did not execute. So then I tried to upload a and it was an IIS server, right? So the verbose error and stack traces were turned off. So what I thought of was I uploaded a web.config file and I manually turned the debug mode on for any of the folder I tried to, so that I could actually know what kind of error I'm getting, what is actually missing, and how the shell needed to be uploaded, right? So that way I figured out to upload a normal basic PowerShell shell on the site, and that was it. So now I again sent in the POC and everything, and after around 15-20 days, they finally accepted. That was RC. Now let's talk about SQL injection. So this was also the same exact approach. I just went on to the home page and I was proxying everything through Bob. And I came across various JavaScript files. I was just manually moving through them. And I found this sort of endpoint and parameters which were mentioned in the JavaScript file. So mind well that this was not available anywhere on from the UI or from directly from the web application itself. So this was sort of a hidden endpoint, you can say, and the parameters as well which needed to be provided. So that was very easy. I guess I just added a single quote on that parameter and constructed a post query, and it resulted in a in a sleep execution of the sleep timer, right? And this is not some payload that I personally constructed. Like I tried a bunch of different payloads already available from payload all the things or so. So that was also very trivial, and this was basically easy. This was accepted in the first go, right? So that was nice. And then we just dumped it to SQL map to find everything, and that was it. And next is improper access control or information disclosure. So this is the most basic thing that you can find using JavaScript directly or manually, you can say. This again same approach. I just went on to the particular website or target web application, and there were a bunch of JavaScript files being called. I was traversing manually through the JavaScript file, and I found sort of some parameter which was the name of access, and the value of the parameter was also hard coded in the JavaScript itself. Next, for further scrolling, I also found that authorization header with its value was also hard coded in the JavaScript file as well. So I finally found a way to construct the query. I hit the API endpoint with a post request, added the same thing which we found here, and with the same authorization header which was already hard coded, and we were able to generate a valid valid JWT token for that particular web application, and we were able to bypass the login restrictions for the web application and directly access it. So that was it. Again, similar approach. There was a data.txt named parameter or so, sorry, my bad, endpoint, which was mentioned in the JavaScript file. And I just tried to see what's it, and it leaked a bunch of key values, IDs, and stuff like that, which were basically critical to according to the logic of the web application. The data was a bit old, but it was still accepted. And as a bonus, this was an authenticated bug, and there was a feature to book some flights, and there were like two different portals. The web application had the business logic of two different portals. One was managed by admins and higher privilege people, and another subdomain, a different one, was managed by the actual users. So here we were able to log in with the admin panel, and there was a functionality to actually see the users, but there was no functionality to either reset their passwords or view their passwords or anything like that. But just checking the normal a normal, like, this was a get request which was triggering on the home page itself when after logging in, and just enumerating through the response, I found that the ID and passwords were like hard coded in the HTML for some reason. I have no idea, but they were present for each and every account and user present for that web application. Oh, that was it. And these are some tips which I would like to share, or these are the takeaways which I want to share with you guys. Like, stop assuming the obvious. If I had assumed that everyone would have seen the JavaScript files, or anyone would have visited this endpoint and it would have been reported, then I would not be able to find such bugs. Tools are just supplements. Like, you can use a lot of tools like Gau, Link Finder to find various endpoints and links within the with JavaScript files. But each and every web application is developed in a different way, and you do not know how the developer is thinking. So if we think about some parameters, if they are in the form of a JSON or so, and if it's written in a different way, then Link Finder won't find that kind of thing, or it won't be indexed on the search engines as well. So manually is the way to go, and you can use the tools just as a supplement and not rely completely on that. Don't overcomplicate stuff, right? So this was the gist of the whole thing. Like, I did nothing fancy. I just looked at the JavaScript files and visited the endpoints, and the bugs were right there in front of my eyes. Ask stupid questions. Like, I'll ask you if you have any questions, but I know most of you won't ask, so you can reach out to me on my Twitter or anywhere, and I'll be more than happy to answer as well. And don't just collaborate, make friends. A lot of the bugs which I showed here and which I did not, uh, I usually go back and forth with my friends a lot, and all of those with whom I have collaborated are very good friends of mine. And it's always good to have someone to bounce ideas off. It's not always about the bounty, right? Even if you have something trivial, and that may get you like $500, but bouncing ideas off your friends and doing stuff together, that might result into some chaining of bugs and escalate to a quite bigger bounty. And finally, compete less and enjoy more. There is a lot of competition in this field. Everyone is running behind dollars and bugs and stuff. But if you do not enjoy everything, the whole process, then I don't think this field should be for you. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions.
Any questions for Satyam? All right, great. Thank you so much, Satyam, for sharing a pro tips and sharing such a informative session.